One of the best things about the internet is that it has significantly limited the power of gatekeepers to control what information gets out into our society. Neither you nor I nor anybody with an internet connection is solely dependent on information from either multinational corporations or, God forbid, way worse, from their own governments to know what's going on in the world. And I think that's fantastic. Obviously, this is a bit self-serving. I would not be able to have this platform and communicate with you if not for the relative freedom of information on the internet. However, for every good creator, for every intelligent person providing critical analysis on the internet, and we'll call them something, unique so it's not solely tied to me, so we can refer to that more simply later on in this video, we'll call them Sean's. For every Sean on the internet, there are not good creators. There are not people who provide intelligent analysis. There are people who spread misinformation, and we'll call them, again, for simplicity and not to tie any names to them, Kasparians or the Young Turks. Just for simplicity, again, not tying it to anybody else. And one of the interesting things about the internet is that there's no rule that says if you provide intelligent analysis, you will rise to the top. Evidenced by the Young Turks, the organization, not the word that we're using for bad creators that spread misinformation. You know what, now that I think about this is getting way too confusing. The Young Turks are a pretty successful, or have been a pretty successful, online media outlet, and this has not been deterred by the fact that they don't tell the truth on their outlet, and their hosts are not the brightest people when it comes to analyzing other people's character, as evidenced by this video where they talk about a powerful woman who spoke truth to power, even though I watched this video, and you're going to hear this woman, and then you're going to hear the Young Turks' reaction to this woman, and you're going to say, wait a minute, did they play the wrong tape? Let's just get it started.
The Kansas City cops certainly got an earful from community members during their police commissioners board meeting. Now, we've seen some video from other commissioners board meetings, but this video was incredible.
Look at how giddy Anna is in presenting this story. You know that if Anna Kasparian, the standard for good standards, is this giddy, then this person's speech must have been incredibly powerful.
Featured a young woman who really spoke truth to power. At one point, a community member also stood up and called for the resignation of the police chief, Rick Smith. I'll get to more details on that in just a minute. But before I do, let me show you a few clips of this young woman. I wish I knew her name.
Oh, I cannot wait to see this incredible woman really speaking truth to power. Anna Kasparian, hype trained to the maximum for this woman, so you know that this is going to be good, and that this is totally not going to be an insane person saying insanely racist things.
If you know her, please tell her to run for office. Please give us some more information about her because she's incredible. But here is a community member from Kansas City, Missouri, speaking truth to power during this police commissioner's board meeting.
Please tell her to run for office because that's how incredible this video really is going to be. I mean, honestly, you guys are going to be blown away and think, that's a senator? I only wish she was over 35 so that she could run for president right now. In fact, Joe Biden, you need to resign because this woman is going to be crazy. And if Trump wins, Trump resign because this woman knows what she's talking about, according to Anna Kasparian. And Anna Kasparian has never misled us at all whatsoever. No, this is going to be tragic. Oh my God, you don't want to see this.
I'm not nice and I don't seek to be respectable. I'm not asking y'all for anything because y'all can't and won't be both my savior and my oppressor. I don't want reform. I want to turn this building into luxury, low-cost housing. These will make some really nice apartments to me. Firstly, stop using black children as photo opportunities because they're cute now, but in 10 years, they're black male suspect in red shirts and khaki shorts. Eating cookies and drinking milk with children does not absolve you of your complicity in their oppression and denigration, Rick Smith.
So you can see already why Anna Kasparian and many people on the left absolutely love this woman, because she's not saying anything substantive, but she has the energy of a keyboard warrior who just owned Trump with the best response of all time. Greatest clapback of all time. This is my clapping motion. It looks weird and awkward, but that's the energy that we're going with. Not a lot of information so far, but again, this is speaking truth to power, so I'm sure it's coming.
Y'all are really weird. It's asinine to be called radical or homegrown terrorists for not wanting government employees to kill citizens in any instance. So I'm not here begging anything of soulless white folks and self-preserving black folks. You get one life, and you all in this room have chosen profits over people, and that's pathetic.
Oh, it gave me chills. Gave me chills. She's absolutely incredible.
Anna got chills from a woman who called people who disagree with her politically and actually have way more information than her on the issues that she's talking about, soulless white people and self-preserving black people. Again, this racist person is the person that Anna Kasparian is going to implore to run for office. I know there wasn't a lot of substance there. There wasn't a lot of interesting and compelling information there, so I can only assume that it was based on the fact that she was denigrating people based on the color of their skin, that Anna Kasparian is like, chills, I have so much chills. I want this woman to come and yell at me and help me alleviate my own white guilt. I'm Anna Kasparian.
Really fast, I had seen the beginning of it and really liked it. I encourage not only, like you said, like if you know her, tell her to run for office, which she's probably gonna end up doing, but also come on our show first. That'd be great. We'd love to talk to you about this.
John Iadarola also thinks that she should run for office. Of course, this makes sense. John Iadarola is basically a poster child for white guilted progressive that doesn't really know anything and can't treat minorities, with any level of agency. The soft bigotry of low expectations type of racist. So I'm not surprised that he wants her to run for office and be like the next Justice Democrat by coming on the Young Turks show. Imagine this woman in an hour-long interview. She's basically the 20-second clapback kind of person, and they want to platform her for an hour because they feel like she speaks truth to power and she's really an example of progressive intelligence. Honestly, she might be comparatively to the other progressives I've seen on the internet, but I'm not impressed compared to, anybody's IQ who's around room temperature.
My favorite line is probably a lot of people's favorite lines. Y'all are really weird.
A statement like that, it speaks to people. Like, it spoke to me. Y'all are weird. It spoke to me. Y'all are weird.
I don't really have any additional commentary. Anna Kasparian just said, y'all are weird is a statement that really speaks to people and spoke to her. Y'all are weird is something that spoke to Anna Kasparian, a 30-plus-year-old adult person with an actual job. Okay.
And to be sure, Kansas City police have had quite a few instances of police brutality in the last year alone. I'll highlight one of the more recent examples for you guys in just a minute.
I'm guessing Anna will cherry pick an example or two and show you limited information about that example in order to draw some overarching conclusion that is not supported by the facts.
But before I do that, we gotta watch more. So let's take a look at the next video where she does name names.
Oh, she's gonna name names now in this epic clapback against the police commissioner and the commissioner meetings. Remember when she said, y'all are weird? That spoke to me. It honestly, it penetrated my heart and got into my soul, which is somewhere in this region of my face. That's what y'all are weird did for me. What did it do for you? Let me know in the comments down below what this powerful statement, y'all are weird, did for you. Praise this woman.
Nathan, the gentleman in the vomit-colored men's warehouse suit in desperate need of Bosley and a haircut, a former FBI agent who exudes white privilege and is the epitome of mediocrity, and who loves Trump so much that he hired his former attorney general at his firm. And it's so sweet because he spent most of this meeting looking away with his head in his hands.
You know what I realized? That this ridiculous grandstanding, that again is the equivalent of a keyboard warrior on Twitter, is being read off of a phone. She couldn't even think of this stuff and bring it with her at the time. She had to write it down and read it because this powerful, speak truth to power kind of person doesn't know it offhand. By comparison, I don't actually script these videos. I give you my thoughts and my reaction, record it, edit it down, and display it to you. I don't need a script to do a video that's going to be somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes long, sometimes 10, but whatever, neither here nor there. Point being, this woman needs a script in order to talk trash and throw petty insults at the police officials that she's talking to because she's speaking truth to power from the heart, her heart being her phone. Okay, Run for office. Can't wait for that campaign.
Or Pastor Mark of Victorious Life Church on 34th and Paseo, where the mission is to provide a place and opportunity to worship Jesus Christ and preach a message of hope and faith through God's holy word in the building. Meanwhile, he's subjecting black people to terrorism and un-Christ-like behavior at the hands of KCPD outside the building. And Kathy, Miss, I'll get here before the other commission members, so I look as if I have empathy, and I'm excited to hear what they have to say. Meanwhile, I didn't have anything else to do at 8 o'clock in the morning but be rich and white and retired, so I'm here early.
Damn.
Oh, I love it so much.
Damn.
I love it so much.
Again, what am I missing here? What makes Anna Kasparian or any person watch this video and think, yes, queen, you need to run for office, that was epic? These are petty personal insults about people's appearance that are undercut by the fact that they're not even organic. She's reading them off of her phone. Also, some of the punchlines of the insult, the big real stinging moments, is that some of the people that she's talking to happen to be white. So where's the joke? Where's the punchline? Why is this somehow not only acceptable and not ridiculous, but something that should be lauded and promoted by the Young Turks, a channel with nearly 5 million subscribers, and then have this woman invited on to run for office to do some kind of a job based on the fact that she can barely coherently read petty insults off of her phone. What am I supposed to be impressed by? Honestly, I'm just not seeing it. Maybe I'm just not supposed to be impressed.
Fires me up. I want to watch her video every morning. I feel like I need it. I need it.
This has to be the anti-white thing. That's why the Young Turks editor decided to cut these clips at that final punchline both times with an insult against a white person based on the color of their skin. It has to be what's firing Anna up and making her say that she wants to watch this clip every day in the morning. Like, are you kidding me? This is not impressive in any way, shape, or form. Also, and I feel like this is cheesy for me even bringing it up, if anywhere close, a low percentage version of this was said, but the opposite, everybody was flipped, this would be completely unacceptable. But the Young Turks have no standards, if not for double standards, so they're totally fine with it. They're praising it, and they want to platform this person further, despite the fact that she's demonstrated that she can't even conduct herself in a city hall meeting.
Q, had I not spent the entirety of the last 6 months dragging you, I would have more to say, but I don't. And Rick, I won't even begin with you, because I don't care enough about you.
Ma'am, your time is up.
To start, but you will have to spend overtime in a chapel at the end of your life. You have blood on your hands, and while these idiots hold you on a pedestal, God does not honor injustice and murder. Anyways, I'll leave you soulless, profit-driven, avaricious, greedy, God-forsaken humans, including anyone who works in this building, with one Bible verse from the Bible, detailing the life of Jesus Christ, who was another unarmed black man murdered by authorities in the book you hellbound people claim to love so much. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? You're really funny.
Again, this person is not connected in reality. She's been dragging this person for the last 6 months. I assume that's on social media, and I also assume whoever she was talking to never even realized that this weirdo was just trying to flame them on Twitter or whatever social media outlet that her activism took the form of. The Bible verse, totally cheesy. The Jesus was an unarmed black man killed by authorities seems rather ahistoric, but whatever. Nice job, very unimpressive, and somehow, again, this is something deserving of extra platforming by the Young Turks, despite the fact that she said nothing substantive. It was embarrassing. She just was like, I'm gonna out-Christian you, something that every cheeseball lefty has been trying to do to people on the right since I've been following politics. Very impressive. I'm honestly stunned. I need to get up early in the morning. The part that really brought it home for me, that really made me internalize this, that I felt the power, the passion of this woman, was when she said, "Y'all are weird." Put that on her headstone, man. That's epic. I mean, I don't even know why we even use presidential quotes or quotes from famous activists when we have "Y'all are weird" from this random person at this city town hall police commissioner, whatever the hell you want to call this meeting. Y'all are weird.
Damn.
I love it. I love
That's
it.
great.
And
Look at their satisfaction with this, despite the fact that she said nothing substantive and nothing interesting. The closest thing she ever got to talking about policy was something about low-income luxury housing, which are opposites. It's an oxymoron. So she couldn't even get that right. She's like, I want cheap luxury housing because that's how that works. And if you don't like that, I'm gonna make fun of the color of your suit. How about that? And then the color of your skin as long as you're white. How about that? Here's a Bible verse. Got 'em. Young Turks platform me, finance my campaign for office. Ain't I smart? Even though this is worthless.
what she communicated there so well was that police have become part of a system of protecting the inequality that we see every single day, right? And so,
Wait, what?
in the case of Breonna Taylor, it's not talked about enough that there's an issue involving gentrification.
In the case of Breonna Taylor, it's not talked about enough that there's an issue involving gentrification.
In the case of Breonna Taylor, it's not talked about enough that there's an issue involving gentrification.
There's no way Anna Kasparian just said that. I have to be mishearing that. There has to be an error. They had to have cut something from another part of the video and inserted it here because that's ridiculous. Let me play it one more time just to double check that this is where we're going. In the Breonna Taylor case.
In the case of Breonna Taylor, it's not talked about enough that there's an issue involving gentrification.
That's the third time I've listened to it, and she did in fact say that the issue of gentrification is not talked about enough in relation to Breonna Taylor. The appropriate amount of times to talk about gentrification, by the way, in the case of Breonna Taylor is 0. So it's actually talked about too much because Anna brought it up this one time. What the hell does Breonna's case have to do with gentrification? Absolutely nothing. She was dating a drug dealer for a long period of time. The reason they raided her house was not gentrification, which by the way is just people moving in and making a neighborhood nicer. The reason that she was raided was due to that association, and the warrant was clean. All the narratives around her were wrong. I've debunked it in multiple videos. I've shown the documentation, but let's hear what Anna has to say about the gentrification component in the Breonna Taylor raid.
The reason why the cops in Louisville, Kentucky were so obsessed in doing these raids in that area was because they were trying to clean that area, in their eyes, clean that area out because it's being gentrified. They got to get it ready for people who are ready and willing to spend who knows how much money on the luxury condos or apartments that are about to be built or have been built.
Okay, usually I'm more elegant in the way that I ask questions like this, but Anna, what the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you trying to say? The police raided Breonna Taylor not because she was a known associate of a drug dealer at the center of an investigation that they were conducting, but because the gentrification was coming and they needed to clean it up for the luxury condos that were built and also were going to be built but may have already been built. I can't even fathom where you got this idea from, and it's horribly embarrassing.
It's what we've seen in so many major cities across the country. What we're seeing is brutality toward people who have lived in these communities for their entire lives, for generations, and they get pushed out thanks to so-called opportunity zone projects that Donald Trump helped fund, which end up being nothing more than giant tax shelters for real estate developers and more of Donald Trump's goons and friends.
I assure you, I did not cut something from another part of the video and piece it here. She got to Orange Man Bad on her own with that crazy string of connections. She went from insane racist lady talking in Missouri and making no sense to Breonna Taylor killed by gentrification to Orange Man Bad and it's all his fault. These are connections that Anna Kasparian made to get to Orange Man Bad. Nothing that I said. And by the way, the idea that you are entitled to live somewhere just because everybody in your family lives somewhere and we shouldn't try to develop it is absolutely ridiculous. Any people talking about the negatives of gentrification, which by the way, there are short-term negatives for some people, but gentrification is just economic development and people moving where they want to move. You can't ban that. You can't bar that. There's nothing wrong with that. And the idea that these people will talk about these underserved communities that don't have economic development, and then when that economic development starts coming, all of a sudden they're like, that's gentrification, it's totally racist, and it led to the death of Breonna Taylor. Just listen to that lady talk about how she slayed the Vomit Man suit. Orange man bad. Orange man bad.
But I give you that broader picture because what she's articulating there is so real and it's felt by so many people. And what gets utilized over and over again to push people out of their communities is this heavy policing, is this, excessive force and brutality. That is what happened to Breonna Taylor. That's what's happening to Black people across the country.
Yeah, no, that's just not what happened to Breonna Taylor. Anna, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you're talking about the police trying to lower the crime rate because that brings in investment, that's not a conspiracy, that's just good policy. High crime causes less economic growth in those areas. Any study can tell you that. The police have an objective to reduce crime, and if that has the downstream benefit of producing more economic growth in the safer neighborhoods that are being created by the police, that's a good thing.
Minorities across the country who are, again, being pushed out to make room for, I want to say wealthy people, but honestly, there's a lot of foreign investment flowing into those real estate developments as well. Because people got to launder their money. So why not kill our own and use police to kill our own to make enough room for foreign money to be laundered in real estate across the nation? It's disgusting.
Oh, honestly, I thought Anna was being crazy for a little bit. I thought she was going, into left-wing Alex Jones territory. But when she breaks it down like that, it all makes perfect sense. The police don't work for your local municipality or your state or wherever. They actually work for foreign real estate money launderers. These people who are trying to launder their money, but they can't do so unless there's a certain amount of dead minorities because of the dead minority tax loophole money laundering exemption that 100% exists. Now, why these foreign real estate developers who launder their money in luxury apartments in places like Manhattan are concerned with non-luxury areas and trying to kill people there, I don't exactly know, but I'm sure Anna has a handle on this because, again, Anna thinks that this woman is a good person to run for Congress and wants to have her on the show so she can spread her message of vomit tan suits. No, wait. Yeah, no, Anna's just crazy and this is insane and completely and utterly ridiculous. The foreign real estate lobby is not sending the police to kill minorities. More importantly, the foreign real estate lobby is not sending the police into minority communities and then paying the minorities to attack the police, which happens in 99% of these cases, resulting in their death. You're not making any sense, Anna. This is ridiculous. And you are, in fact, left-wing Alex Jones level.
We gotta do whatever we can to support people who engage in this type of political activism. And I would love, again, to give her a platform if she's willing to come speak to us. Incredible woman, props to her, props to everyone who's fighting the good fight. Gives me a lot of inspiration to keep going, and I'm grateful for that.
I agree with absolutely everything Anna Kasparian just said in that clip that I showed you, except for every single word that she used, the context in which she used them, and the message that she was trying to convey to her audience. Except for that, totally agree. Now look, I can't really go through this video any longer because it's ridiculous and it's absurd. Skipped over a bit in the middle. I'll link it so you guys can go back and watch it. But it's fully crazy and I had to show you the weird leaps and connections that they're making and how absolutely insane they are. If you found it hilarious, let me know down in the comments below. If you found it pretty funny but not hilarious, then don't let me know. I only want to know if you found it hilarious. As usual, if you like this video, then you can show me by leaving a like. You can subscribe for more content. Follow me on all my social media. Yes, I just mumbled subscribe for more content. Support links are in the description box. Till next time.